Hi there. My name is Nina Goradia, and today I want to address a situation that you might be in where you find yourself really resenting a person, maybe even hating them. And you might even be having this internal dialogue where you're arguing with them, you're fighting with them. And I just want to explore a few possible root causes of this. It might be that the way this person is with me or treats me or brings up within me causes me to feel something about myself that is almost intolerable. And these could be extremely vulnerable emotions, like a feeling of I'm not good enough, or unworthiness, worthlessness, shame. All of these refer to the same thing. I'm not enough. Another very vulnerable emotion is the feeling of powerlessness. Like something in me, I can't do what I need to do to feel okay or safe in this situation. Other things that could come up is just a feeling of like lack or sadness or loneliness, something that just feels so difficult within me that I don't know I don't know how to do anything but to defend myself. And so I'm trying to defend myself with my mind, with the ego that's trying to help me not feel these very vulnerable emotions because they feel too big to feel, or I just simply don't know how to feel them through. And so then what I do is I start having this dialogue in my mind where I'm trying to prove myself right in my head to that person and think about why that dialogue might be happening. It might feel like, oh, I just hate them and they're like this and how could they do that? And why can't they see that they're wrong about this? And why can't they see me and my experience? And it could be because they arose, their presence, brought up this feeling inside of you. And this arguing is an attempt to bargain for one's own worth. So if they weren't like this, then I wouldn't feel unworthy. And then I wouldn't feel so vulnerable and bad. I could be bargaining for some power with that dialogue. I could be bargaining against feeling through my emotions. And so it looks like they're the problem, it's them. But once I realized, like, wait a minute, this is actually a compensation. This is a defense mechanism. This is the way our minds were wired to help us survive in the external world, to help us get through difficult places and moments. But then eventually we need to start bringing it back to us. Okay, yes, they did that, but how does that make me feel? Oh, that makes me feel this way. I feel this way. I feel worthless in this moment. It's like they treated me like I didn't matter at all. They treated me like garbage. It doesn't mean you are worthless. Obviously, you're not. But this feeling is the most common feeling underlying all the insecure feelings of all people in the whole world. This is universal human stuff that people just don't talk about because it's so vulnerable. And so, but when we can get that radical level of honesty with self, and it takes a lot of willingness to feel in order to have that honesty. As I have that, I can start to realize like, oh, that feels so bad. Feel it in my stomach. Okay, I'm just gonna allow myself to feel that through. Let it be here. As I allow it, it'll pass. But you're not trying to get rid of it. You're trying to show up for it. Like, oh, I see you. Maybe it's their 5-year-old self when you first felt that. I see you. There you are. Is that how you feel? Oh, I see. That's how you feel. It's not true. It's definitely not true. But in order for it to feel like it's not true, you got to feel it through. If it still feels true, even though you know intellectually it's not true, it just means an emotion is stuck. So I need to feel that through. And then suddenly that situation, it won't hurt as bad. I'll have less arguing within my own mind with that person. If there's still some arguing left, then there's another thing, that another angle of this that I still need to clear. Yeah, well, now I don't feel that anymore, but underneath that is this. Now I feel like I was totally powerless in that situation. There's nothing I could do to avoid it. Okay, now I feel that. Where is that in my body? I want to feel that through. And I want to allow it, give it permission to be here because it's okay that I felt that. It's not true that I'm unworthy, but it's okay that I felt that way because that's very normal. That's human. That's how the human mind is designed, that we make assumptions about our worthiness or we feel that way, especially when we're young, we do that. And as we start to deliberately and consciously disprove and look at these things, that will happen less and less. The powerlessness. It's kind of true. Like we do have some power, but we're not all powerful. So that's one thing where, yeah, I was powerless in that moment, or I felt that way. And even if that is true, I'm still not at the mercy of it if I can feel through the feeling. Because when I feel through it, I'm no longer afraid of that feeling. I allowed it, I gave it permission, and I realized that even if that feeling comes through, that I'm okay. I felt powerless, but I survived it. That feeling is through, and I'm at peace somehow in this moment because I let that feeling pass through me. I didn't hang on to it. So see if you can think of a situation you were in like this and try to really self-reflect, like, how did it make me feel? Instead of not what they did. Yeah, they did that. How did that make me feel when they did that? Maybe you felt 5 different things and you need to clear 5 different things within you. And whenever I use the word clear, I never mean try to get rid of the emotion. It's just a shorthand I use for clearing our resistance to the feeling. So we just allow ourselves to feel the feeling. We lean into it. We go for it, towards it, instead of making it wrong and trying to avoid it and trying to fix it. There's nothing to fix. You're allowed to feel how you do, and there's nothing wrong with you. So I'd love to hear any comments you have about this material, and I'll see you next time. Take care.